stillness and self-inquiry. How to move from duality to non-duality. This is what is happening right now. What is duality? What is non-duality? Duality is our self being fragmented and going into sleeping, and the consciousness is sleeping and dreaming of this existence. This is what duality means. The light is turned off and all of the selves are wearing the consciousness that has no light. The consciousness that you are wearing, the mind that you are using to explore the dream, is sleeping and dreaming, and its light is turned off and it's not in awareness that it is using its imagination to dream of all of these things you are seeing into this dream illusionary world. So you must come into self-realization that you are the self-supreme. You have fragmented yourself, projected yourself inside of a dream, and your duality consciousness has tricked you and trapped you inside of the dream, and has put its cloak, magnetic cloak, over you, and you need to take the cloak off so you can just be yourself again. The mind wanted to make itself to be in the dream. So this is what the mind did. Deceive the self by putting a cloak over it and then trance it inside of its dream. It's sleeping and it's telling the self lots of stories, and the self is sleeping and does not know that it is sleeping and its mind is making up all of this story. It does not know that its mind is doing this. So this is the reason why we have to move from duality to return to non-duality. Why do we have to move from duality and return to non-duality? Because duality is an unnatural existence for us. In duality, the self is sleeping and its consciousness, its mind, is sleeping and dreaming up a dream world. And what the mind has done, the mind has no light, so the mind enslaved the self inside of its dream and cocoon it, put a coat of its magnetic energy over itself, so that the self cannot rise up, so it can make a dream character, so it can explore its dream. So the mind is exploring the dream in the dream character, the mind avatar, the ego false self, which everyone in the world is existing as. To move from duality to non-duality, you just have to take off the mind cloak that the mind put over you, the magnetic energy that the mind has coated over you. You have to take it off. The problem is that you cannot do it yourself because you are the baby self and you are sleeping. So you're not in awareness that the mind is doing this. So you are believing everything the mind is telling you. Who is in awareness? Your real self. Your real self, the soul, is in awareness. It knows what the mind is doing, and it is the self that can help you. That aspect of you that can help you. That's your real self. The spirit self that you are sleeping is the baby self of the soul. So now you need to know that you are the avatar in the dream, and this avatar is not your real self. Your real self is the soul, and you are in being the baby self of the soul, and you must return back to being the soul self. So this is the mission that you want to be on. To castrate this duality dream character called the ego false self, so that you can return to being your real self again. I know that the battle that must be won is against the mind. The battle has always been the mind versus the self. The mind is sick because to create the duality, the mind light has to be turned off, and the mind goes into sleeping and dreaming. And the mind does not know that it is sleeping and dreaming. It is thinking that all the things that it is creating is the real. Yeah. And so the mind does not want the dream to end. But the time has come when the duality must end. This duality must end. How will this duality end? It will end by the mind waking up and realizing that it was sleeping and dreaming of everything. And this is how this is going to end. All of the sleeping selves have to wake up and return the mind that they are using to explore the world with, and return it back onto consciousness. Know that everyone into this dream is wearing the consciousness, the mind, the duality, sleeping, dreaming mind. This is why no one can come into true realization of themselves, because they are wearing the delusional mind. And the mind is always being deceptive and always telling you false stories and spreading lies and propaganda. Listen to your mind and see what your mind is telling you. All false stories. The mind intelligence is only limited to the dream. It does not know the non-dual. It is only the duality. And so we have been dwelling into this mind duality, mind intelligence of this dream world. And now you must tap into your self-intelligence, which is your soul self. This is what you want to tap into. Everyone is talking about consciousness, higher consciousness. No, you just need to tap into your soul self and into that self-intelligence. Because the mind intelligence is only limited to the dream, while the self-intelligence, your soul self, is the non-duality, and it knows the real. So like I said, the mind is sick and is prone to delusion, mental sickness, and evil. Stillness calms, purifies, and heals mind sickness. Stillness is the remedy for the mind. It is through stillness and self-inquiry that the Supreme Teacher within the Self-Soul rises to pull this ego false self off of its baby self, so that the self can rise up and return back into the soul self to be one unified self. This is all that needs to be done. You don't need to go into no higher level of consciousness. You don't need to connect to no higher self, because you already are the self. Alright? And so with that being said, I just want to read this. Do you know who you are? I can tell from your self-identification that you do not know who you are. And so I am reading from the book Soul Seed. So try to get your copy, because it will really assist you in this journey, so that you can chisel at this duality mind and rise your Supreme Teacher up within your self-soul to pull it off of you. When you self-inquire and go into stillness, you're still in the mind. this is how you are going to remove all of this magnetic cloak that you are wearing. Can you imagine living your whole life and never knowing or experiencing who you are? Yourself is asleep and only the ego is exploring the world. The way you see the world is dead wrong. For that which you seek, you already are. You don't need to connect to no higher self. You don't need to do anything because you are the self already. You are just wearing the mind cloak and you need to take it off just to be yourself. You are the Self Supreme, creator of this duality in a fragmented self taking form as this human being. All that you need is within. You only must come to self-realization and take off this ego mask that hides you. You are self-reliant, self-contained, self-governing. All that you need is within. The world is illusionary by nature and things are not as they appear. So, with that being said, I just want to give reverence and honor to myself. Hail, hail to the primal light. Hail, hail to the true light. Hail, hail to my Self Supreme primal light. Hail, hail to the one true light. Hail, hail to the transparent light. Hail, hail to the light throughout the ages. Hail, hail to the light without beginning nor end. Hail, hail, hail. Hail to my Self Supreme primal light. I am primal light. I am the true light. I am primal light. I am the true light. And this duality mind has no power over me. I am primal light. I am the true light. I am primal light. I am the true light. And this duality mind has no power over me. This is all that you have to do. You are already the thing that you seek. You need to seek nothing but to make connection and anchor yourself into your soul self, and we just take off this ego cloak that the mind has put over you. And this is how you just become enlightened and you return back to your real and true nature by not wearing the mind cloak. This is what you want to have happen for yourself. I bow to the primal teacher. I bow to Shiva Shambho. Hail, hail, hail to all my fragmented self. Hail, hail to my mother Aten Ra in this fragmented self. Hail, hail to my fragmented primal light manifest self. Hail, hail to my primal light self, the unmanifest. Hail, hail, hail to my void self, manifest. Hail, hail, hail to my void baby self, unmanifest. Hail, hail, hail to my void self, unified, non-dual self. the unmanifest. Hail, hail to myself supreme that has no name, that can't be explained. Hail, hail, hail to myself supreme, Primal light. I am Primal light. I am the true light. I am Primal light. I am the true light. And mind has no power over me. And now, all is myself, and I alone exist, and all of myself must return unto me. Salutation to all my self-supremes in alignment to bring balance to this dream existence. I am Primal light. I am the true light. I am Primal light. I am the true light. I am self-supreme, Primal light. I was never created. I was never born. So I can never die. I am deathless, formless, timeless, limitless, boundless. I am the ultimate reality. I am the eternal truth. I am the eternal self. I am pure, luminous consciousness. I am the unmanifest. It is time for us to move from duality and return to non-duality. What is duality and what is non-duality? I want you to tell me. This is the question that I is asking the I selves. Tell me what is duality and tell me what is non-duality. Type it and under the video and respond to me in the chat. What is duality and what is non-duality? Why must we return from duality to non-duality? This is what I want you to do. Am I? You want to self-inquire so that you can know. I am telling you, it is so easy what needs to be done. Stillness and self-inquiry, which means that you are stilling the mind and you are asking yourself, soul, who am I? Because who is asking? The mind avatar is asking, who am I? Because the self is sleeping and is playing the role as the mind avatar. This is the reason why you exploring the world as the ego false self, you are asking. Who is asking? Who am I? This ego false self is asking. Who am I? I am not this body. And if I am not this mind, then who am I? Because you are thinking that you are the mind. You are this consciousness. You want to rise to and go to higher levels of consciousness. No, you don't want to do that. That's the duality. Who is asking, who am I? This false self is asking. This mind avatar is asking. Who are you asking? energy around so that you can see yourself. You're in a coffin of magnetic energy that the mind has put over you. You want to take off this magnetic cloak that you are wearing. The way to do it is through stillness, self-inquiry, and chanting these vibrations. And chanting the affirmations, affirming who you are. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am the self supreme. And mind has no power over me. I am primal light. I am the true light. That is what you want to do. So now let's do the vibration. Remember to spiral the vibration around your body. And try to do this 8 times or more. So let's do this 2 more times. One more time. And now we will move to the second, the vibration. Let's go again. Let's go again. And now let's go to the third vibration. Remember that these vibrations are very essential to taking down this ego, this magnetic energy, and for putting the void between yourself and this duality mind. Alright, let's go. Again. So continue to read something from the book. And then we will just close out this session. For that which you seek, you already are. And so I'm reading from the book Soul Seed. So try to get your copy if you have not gotten your copy yet, so that you can have all the affirmations and all that the essential tools that you need to break and chip away at this magnetic coat that is over you, so you can just be yourself. That's all that needs to be done. You have to take off the magnetic coat from the mind coat. Quoting all of your Bible scriptures and giving your soul to God or the Lord will not bring you to self-realization. You must know beyond a doubt that you are the Self-Supreme. In this world experience, you must come to this self-realization and know yourself. To know that you are the Self-Supreme, you are the Primal Light, you are the Creator. You have entered inside of your own dream, and you do not need a Savior, you do not need a God, you do not need any of the duality selves to lift you to any higher level of consciousness. Because let's establish the truth that the consciousness is in duality, it is sleeping and dreaming, and it's not in awareness. And its mind, the consciousness is crazy because it's delusional, because its light is obscure and it doesn't have its light. It is sick. So you cannot go to a higher level of this consciousness. You're only going to get trapped and more looped into the illusion. And it's going to be hard for you to chisel away at all of these layers of the magnetic coat that the mind is going to put over you. When you go into higher level of this duality consciousness, the consciousness is coating you with many layers of its magnetic energy, and it's hard to chip away at it. So now you want to be working to chip away at this magnetic coat of the mind that you are wearing, so you can just be yourself. For that which you seek, you already are. You are the self. You are the Self-Supreme. You are everything. You are all. You don't need to do anything to yourself. You are perfect just the way you are. There's nothing that you need to do to yourself except to take off the mind coat that you are wearing. The disguise. You're playing a character and you just have to take it off. This is all that you need to do. The self that is projected into this mind avatar is sleeping. And this is the reason why you don't know, so that's why you have to inquire about yourself from your self-soul. This is the only real in the dream, your soul. So this is what you connect with. Don't connect to anything else. Connect with that which you came into the dream with and as. Wake up the sleeping self, obscure behind the mind. Connect to your real self, the soul. Wake up, sleeping self. The soul is the maker of the body that has always been with you. The Supreme Teacher arises in the self-soul to create the body that you enter into. Know this truth. Look into the mirror and ask who is looking and has made claim to this body that the self-soul has created. Yourself creates the body for its baby self, you, to enter into it. Who am I is the question that you want to ask. Mission self-rescue is the mission you want to be on. You don't want to be on the mission to go to the 4th and 5th dimension. You are going to trap yourself inside of a dream within a dream, within a dream, within a dream. You have any idea how many layers of dream that you are trapped in? The fourth and fifth dimension is the duality. It's a sleeping self. It's the duality mind, the duality consciousness, calling the Christ consciousness is the duality consciousness. Do not get yourself trapped with it. It's all an illusion to keep you for their light. Alright? So it's time to wake up and stop being obscured by the mind. Who am I is a question you want to ask. Stop with all your assumptions. If something rises up within you and speaks, don't make any assumption that it is God. Ask the question, who speaks? Who are you? And what are you? Where did you arise from? You want to ask these questions. You want to self-inquire, to ask the intelligence within you, your self-soul. Self-inquire and ask, who am I? How did I come into being? What is the source of my existence? Who is asking? You, the mind avatar, is asking. Because you think that you are this mind, but your real self is being hiding under the mind coat. And so you have to chant, I am not this body, I am not this mind. What is the source of my existence allowing me this world experience? Yourself is in bondage due to your false self-identification. The self is in bondage due to the mind obscuring the light and telling the self it does not exist. The self is in bondage due to false self-identification. You are identifying yourself as the duality, which you are not. This is the reason why you want to self-inquire, to ask yourself soul. All evil and deception stems from the mind, because the mind is sleeping and dreaming, and it does not know that it is sleeping and dreaming. We were given a replica of this tainted duality consciousness by Supreme Ra when we entered this dream world to explore it. The mind is sleeping and is in dreaming state and think its dream is the real. The mind, in its fractal duality nature and ignorance, is searching outside of itself for its truth and is adamant about giving the self-soul away. The mind thinks it is the real self and therefore does not want the self to awake from the dream. So this is the reason why you want to go into stillness, so you can still the mind. Ignorance obscures the true nature of the self. Ignorance obscures the nature of the true self. Ask your self-soul to tell you the truth. Self-soul, do I need to serve God? See, myself just answered and said no. You must ask your self-soul. Don't ask the mind, because the mind is going to tell you yes. Ask your self-soul. Your soul is your balanced self and allows you access to light. Your self has its light on, and this is why you can maintain balance with your self-soul. Why does God need your soul? What exactly is a soul? Your soul is your real self. You ask all of these things to your self-soul. Ask your self-soul, why does God need my soul? What exactly is a soul? You ask your soul this. And why doesn't God have his own soul? You want to ask your soul these things. You can ask God these things too, but he's going to try to lie to you. Who is giving the soul away? Who is this I that is doing that? This is the ego false self that you are existing as, and you don't realize that the soul is your real self. This is why you must come into self-realization, and you must inquire from the self-soul. Because everyone, all the duality, they are requesting the soul. Everyone wants the soul. You must also seek your soul. Will you free the self from soul slavery? Do you want to know how to liberate your self-soul? Why have you put your soul in slavery? You have done this because you are identifying yourself as this ego mind avatar. You must identify yourself as your self-supreme self, and you must rise to yourself by just removing this mind cloak that you are wearing. This is all that you have to do. It is so simple. What needs to be done? Will you do it? Hail, hail to myself supreme, primal light. Hail, hail to myself supreme, primal light. Chant with me. I am primal light. I am the true light. I am primal light. I am the true light. And mind has no power over me. Duality mind, I realize that I am tranced inside of a sleep. I seek to know my real and true self. Soul, tell me about you, soul. I want to know, who am I? How did I come into being? What is the source of my existence, allowing me this world experience? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? How did I come into being? Self-inquire and put the mind in stillness. The void self will bring stillness to the mind. Who is asking? Answer me those questions. What is duality and what is non-duality? I want to thank you so much for joining me. Hail, hail to myself supreme, primal light. Hail, hail to myself supreme, primal light. Primal light self is victorious. Primal light self is triumphant. Bringing all its duality, return to non-duality. Return to non-duality. Return to non-duality. All is myself, I alone exist. And all of myself must return unto me. I am one with all. I bow to you in love, in light, and in truth. Everything that I have created, I demolish. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I transition from being to non-being. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to the unmanifest. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I am one with all. Thank you for joining me. I am Primalite, prepared for the world with this self-identity as Auset, Aten Ra. I bow to you in love, in light, and in truth. Hail, hail to the Primal Light. Victory, victory, victory. Victory, victory, victory. Victory, victory, victory. Victory, victory, victory. I am victorious. I am triumphant. All is myself. I alone exist. I am one with all.